hope you are having a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Parker Nirenstein, and this is Vehicle Virgins. Today, I am taking this S-Class to get looked at by a potential buyer. She's all clean. Let's roll. Oh my God, it's so smooth. Fake M badges, take that off. Well, that went super well. The person showed up in an Aston Martin DB9, so that is promising. Now we're gonna hop in the C63 and go car shopping. So we thought it would be awesome to do a follow-up on our Geneva Idiots Go Supercar Shopping video. I know you guys like that a lot. So where are we headed today?
Evan Paul Motors.
We're going to Evan Paul Motor Cars to drive some supercars, and also he is gonna try out this VF C63 because you have a C63.
I have a C63.
And you wanna get it tuned. Like, it's pretty awesome, it's pretty awesome. Two V8s. Two very different cars. Look at this, we got an NSX coming up. Sick. Have you driven an NSX?
I haven't, but I want it.
Here we are, pulling up to Evan Paul's. Look at the wrap on that Raptor, that is badass. Just truck problems. Hard to get in a normal parking spot. I also love this M4. That is a beautiful color. As always at Evan Paul, they have some ridiculous cars. Slr Roadster. When I reviewed the SLR, I had no idea what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised. It's definitely a unique driving experience. The brake pedal requires a lot of effort, but there's nothing like piloting a freaking SLR. Behind it, we've got an Lp570 Superleggera that I believe Paul is quite interested in.
Yes, I am.
Interestingly enough, I've actually never driven a Superleggera. I've done a 560 review, a Performante. Obviously, I owned a Gallardo, but the Lp570 is something I haven't driven. I love the way this thing looks with all the carbon fiber elements, that Superleggera wing. This SLS Black Series, I am in love. That would be a super strange, unique change to the channel if I got rid of my Lambo for SLS Black Series, but... And you could supercharge it, people have done that. Oh. 3 feet farther and it's gotten even better. 997 GT2 RS, manual of course. These cars used to be, I swear to God, 2 or 3 years ago, $220,000, and now they're all over 600 grand. That would have been a good investment. I can't imagine what this is like to drive. 600 plus horsepower, rear wheel drive manual. 4x4 squared, 458 Special. I have always wanted to drive one of these. What a raw, brutal car. Check out this M6, guys. Keswick green. Apparently it's a Range Rover color, and this thing is a manual. Look at that interior color too. Casually a Ford GT tucked away as well. This inventory is pretty nuts. What would you walk away with?
I'd have to say, you know that 458 Spider over there? It's been lowered. Yeah. Race carbon seats. Put an Novitec exhaust system on that, and you're good to go.
There you go. I think I'd take the GT2 RS. And I'm filming the rear of the car when the exhaust tips are out the side. What am I thinking? That was a total brain fart. So me and Paul are gonna go out in the Lp570 right now, have some fun, experience the car for the first time. Those other guys are taking out the SLR Roadster. Maybe we'll switch off. Time to roll. Look at these doors, all carbon fiber, Alcantara everywhere. A smiling Paul. Wondering why I got the leather steering wheel instead of the Alcantara on my E63S? Here is a perfect example. This Superleggera has 15,000 miles on it, and the Alcantara, well, it's worn out a little bit. Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, just weight savings. What, we've made it 2 miles and we need gas again, or what? What's the deal? Oh, look at those little details, and the seats, the design of the seats are just incredible. The SLR following closely behind, that just looks awesome in the side view mirror.
Oh. The Lp570, there's a little secret in Lamborghini that I heard through owners, that the 560 engine and the 570 engine wasn't actually much difference. If you dynoed both of them, they came out with around 565 brake horsepower. They didn't really tune it. They changed a little bit of the exhaust system and the weight saving. Lamborghini go, hey, that feels like 10 brake horsepower. So they said there was the Lp570.
Look at that, a red light, an Lp570, and an SLR. What could possibly happen next?
Oh, shit.
Oh, and he's taking off.
That's fast.
So this car is 155 grand. What would you rather have? Is an Aventador SV 3 times cooler? Imagine 3 of these. One for you, one for me, one for Sam. We're all mobbing out, different colors.
Yeah, when you say it like that, you'd have 3 of these.
Yeah, or this plus an SLR. It's actually amazing how fast the SLR is. 617 horsepower, absolutely able to pull train on the LP570. A straight up race, I think the SLR would leave it in the dust, but there is no question which one sounds better. Superleggera is just, oh. This would be a cool garage setup. New Raptor, 570 SLR. I've now been given the keys to the LP570. Like I said before, I have never driven one of these before. I just rode shotgun and oh my God, does it sound good. As compared to the LP560, we've got larger air intakes. That's to feed more air over the radiators for better cooling. We've also got large carbon fiber side skirts, carbon fiber on the engine bay cover, as well as the wing and rear diffuser, all in the name of weight savings and improved downforce. Total weight savings of 154 pounds over the normal LP560. First time in a Gallardo in a long time. We both owned Gallardos.
We did.
And this is the ultimate version of the Gallardo other than the Super Trofeo Stradale.
Yeah. I love that car.
We have normal, sport, and Corsa. The very first generation cars did not have a Corsa mode. Obviously more intense shifts, but yours did, right?
It did.
Yeah, the LP560s. Best part of these cars has to be that V10 sound. Oh! The feeling between the gear shifts is like nothing else.
Yeah.
He was saying earlier in his video, while the single clutch gearbox has its severe downsides, I mean, daily drivability, going from 0 to 2 miles an hour is kind of weird, and when you're just at partial throttle, it kind of sways you, but at full throttle, there's really nothing like it. It's just head snapping. It makes the car feel a lot faster than it is. Obviously, this is significantly slower than a Huracan, but it doesn't really feel that way because the shifts are so brutal.
You're flooring it, then you pull the pedal, and then you get shunted forward, and then the power kicks in, and you get shunted back.
You're going in every direction. It's literally so wild. So some power figures on this. The LP570, it has 562 horsepower out of a naturally aspirated 5.2 liter V10, 398 pound-feet of torque. Because of the revamped gearing in the LP560 generation over the first gen, they improved the 0 to 60 and the launch significantly. When I had my Gallardo, doing a launch was not something you would think of. It basically had about 4 or 5 launches in it per clutch. And it didn't really have a full launch control. You basically just floor it, you slap the gas, and it does a clutch dump. This car revs it up to 5,000 RPMs when you're in Corsa mode and takes off 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. And the first gear pull in this thing,
then it was a brake and traction.
that's unreal. The suspension has been completely redone for the Superleggera. It rides significantly harder than the Gallardo, but on roads like this, you really don't feel it. I'm literally going 35 miles an hour and I'm just smiling like an idiot.
Yeah.
this is so fun. Oh. What do you say? Should we hop in the SLR?
Yeah.
Let's do it. When a Mercedes has cooler doors than a Lamborghini, classic V10 problems. Really cool how the door opens with this hinge here and almost the A-pillar itself folds upwards. Wanted to show you guys how interesting these seat controls are. Like typical modern Mercedes, we have this little seat that actually controls it, but it's located down here and it's in kind of a weird position. That's forward, that's backwards, and recline, incline. Very interesting. And then we've got this SLR insignia on the carbon fiber center console that hides a terrible looking Kenwood sound system. Let's do it. I'm in a Batmobile. You know what's interesting about the 722?
What?
It doesn't actually have any more horsepower than this car.
No.
Yeah.
It's literally like, oh, we just put a front split and different wheel.
It looks very cool.
It does.
And it has that special edition, ooh, it's a 722. Yeah. But the fact that it should have 722 horsepower.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Oh, wow. supercharger whine too.
Yeah.
From the outside, you don't hear it. All you hear is this low grumbling. It doesn't sound any different than a G63 does. But from inside, that supercharger whine's ridiculous. So under the hood of this thing is a 5.4 liter supercharged V8 that makes 617 horsepower. Significantly more than that Lp570 does. Despite the fact that 95% of the car's body is made of carbon fiber, it still weighs significantly more than that Superleggera at 3,700 pounds.
Wow.
That pulls like a monster.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then we've got that active air brake in the back. When I slammed on the brake, it folded up. Yeah, this thing is definitely faster than that Lp570. This is a very unique car, both from, you don't see SLRs ever, and also from a driving perspective. The gas pedal is super light, like something you'd expect almost on a minivan. The brake pedal feels like a race car. It takes a severe amount of pressure to actually slow the car down. Now we've got a ridiculous 617 horsepower. Yeah, this thing pulls really hard. I think though, after driving both, even though this car is legitimately twice as expensive as the Gallardo speaks to me in a way that this doesn't. It's more raw, love the experience of driving it, versus this is, it's bad, it's cool, it's fast, but it doesn't invoke that emotion that the Lp570 does. Awesome day with the SLR and the Superleggera. Both me and Paul agree that if we were given the keys to both of them, we would take the Superleggera over the SLR. The SLR is a lot faster, significantly faster, but doesn't sound as good, doesn't drive as raw, totally different type of car. Thanks again to Evan Paul Motor Cars for hooking us up with these two bad boys for the day.